Protect your home from home. Simple Caravan Insurance, sponsors of the Caravan Channel.
Hello, I'm John Wickersham, and in this short talk I'm going to look at various things related to gas in caravans and motorhomes. And in front of me I've got some of the accessories and items that you're going to come across. Under no circumstances should an unqualified amateur ever attempt to modify a gas supply system. And don't attempt to service gas appliances either. What you can and of course must do is be prepared to put a new cylinder in place when the old one is empty. When the gas comes out of the cylinders, it comes out at a very, very big pressure in the initial period when the cylinder is full. But when the cylinder is nearly empty, it comes out a lot slower. And that is why, to smooth it out, you have an item called a regulator. And these come in all sorts of different types. Now that is one of the problems. Across Europe, there are so many different cylinders with so many different couplings that it can become very complicated and even costly to make the appropriate connections. But the idea's changed. It was thought in 2003 to save having to buy all the different regulators to suit all the different cylinders. It might be much better to introduce a regulator that could handle both butane and propane, thanks to its clever mechanism inside, and to mount this on the wall of the gas locker itself, or in some cases on the ceiling. And with it on the ceiling or the wall, all you had to buy then was this coupling hose, different on the end to suit your choice of cylinder. But now it must be high pressure, because if you look across at this one, already set up, there's the wall mounted type of regulator. You recognise that this is gas coming at high pressure straight from the cylinder. So you mustn't use clips. You must use a high pressure hose, and it must be fitted with couplings that are produced at the factory. Now this type of hose doesn't last forever, obviously, and once the gas is passing through it, it starts to deteriorate, and it may need changing in 3 years, perhaps 5, or any time when it looks damaged. The date is actually on the side of the hose, but that doesn't actually state when you've fitted it. That's the key date when the countdown starts. There is also a designation which says whether it's high or low pressure, so that's useful. Recently, however, there's been a decision to use special stainless steel semi-flexible hose, and this example has the 3 sections cut apart so you can see them. In the core there's a convoluted stainless steel hose that doesn't have the flexibility of this, but it does turn some pretty sharp corners. It's protected with a stainless steel braid as well, and it also has a plasticized covering to protect the braid. And this is guaranteed to last for 10 years. But of course, it costs a little bit more. So we have then 2 systems. Before 2003, if you buy a caravan or a motorhome of that earlier vintage, you're going to be working with cylinder mounted regulators. If you buy a caravan or a motorhome that's built in the UK after the 1st of September 2003, you're almost certain to find a wall mounted or ceiling mounted regulator like this one, or a similar type, a similar make. But wait, you've still got to remember that it's your duty to undo the coupling to change the cylinder. And on this sort, you need a small spanner. And these are sold in accessory shops and are purposely not very robust because they don't want you to over tighten. And the nut has to be turned the opposite way from usual, which in this case is clockwise as you look at it, in order to detach it from the fitting. And that's a small task that you'll often have to perform if you own a caravan or a motorhome.